Hi there. My name's Colin Riley and I work for OpenSpace. And I'm really excited for everyone to be on the call today to learn more about the Heavy Metal Summer Experience. I'm here with a great group of people to talk about what heavy metal is and really introduce it to the industry.
I'm Steve Hunt from D. Kramer, the Vice President of Pre-Construction.
Hi, I'm John Cochran. I'm the BIM Systems Integrator here at D. Kramer.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Savage, and I'm the HR manager with D. Kramer.
Hi, I'm Angie Simon. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Heavy Metal Summer Experience and a past president for National SMACNA and a good friend of D. Kramer's.
Well, I thank everybody for being on the call and joining me today. And we are really excited to talk about what heavy metal is doing and changing the industry and how they are really helping this next generation grow. Um, Today, really, why OpenSpace joined heavy metal is we saw this opportunity that there's a perception in the industry that construction is still the old fashioned way of just hammering and doing very manual labor. And really, what we were hoping to do is we were hoping to help impact this industry to show that technology and different innovations in this construction industry are really being able to impact everybody that's there working at these different companies. Today, OpenSpace is the idea of taking 360 cameras and documenting job sites. The concept is that we are basically the Google Street View of construction. So anyone in the industry that logs into a computer can see active job sites that are happening in any state in any area within these companies. And we really believe that technologies like ours are helping get more people into this industry and really helping get jobs done quicker. So today we really were excited to bring on Angie and allow Angie to talk about what Heavy Metal Summer Experience is and really what it's doing to impact the industry here.
Well, Colin, thank you very much. We really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this. So Heavy Metal Summer Experience, I was the former CEO of Western Allied Mechanical, and while I was still the CEO, I've retired now, but while I was the CEO of Western Allied Mechanical and the president of National SMACNA, it became really obvious to me, and I'm sure it is to all of anybody listening, that we have a workforce shortage within the trades, and that the trades they're saying that the next 5 to 7 years, 40% of our trades are going to retire. So basically, I kind of said we need to think and do something about this. So instead of kind of talking about it and complaining about it, Western Allied and Hermanson stepped up and said, let's just run a summer camp with kids in high school to teach them about what a great career the trades is. And I think that's what is lacking a little bit, in that we don't know what the trades are anymore. We don't have shops in many of the schools. So Western Allied and Hermanson teamed together to form this summer camps, and we called it Heavy Metal Summer Experience. So our first summer, we had 28 kids in 2 locations. And after the camps, we wrote a playbook. And I started going across the country and talking to people as national president and kind of challenging contractors to stop talking about it and maybe get some skin in the game and do something. And some of our contractors like D. Kramer stepped up right away and said, I'll host a camp. So what Heavy Metal Summer Experience is we're the avenue to, we're a nonprofit 501c3 that we're trying to empower and teach kids about what a career of the trades, amazing career of the trades can be. We're partnered with our unions. There is both mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. And in the mechanical, there's sheet metal as well as piping and plumbing. And so we've grown just amazingly. OpenSpace started early with us and have been a supporter from the beginning. And one of the things we are finding out that the kids spend about 30 hours or more in a camp. And that's they actually do hands-on projects. They do sheet metal and piping and electrical, and they learn about that. And they learn about what job sites are. And but kids nowadays, this is 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds, and technology, they're born with technology in their hands. So the technology side of the construction industry is exciting for them. For many of the people that are retiring in the next 5 to 7 years, it's not as exciting. They're the ones who want to walk away from it. So the nice part is to be able to share the construction side, the actual building side, but also the technology side of construction is really exciting for us in the camps. We've grown. We are now this past summer was our 4th summer. So we went from 2 camps and 28 kids to this past summer, we had 36 locations across the United States and Canada, and we were almost 500 kids. So the growth has been amazing. I did retire from Western Allied. It's a good thing because I think I work a lot more hours now than I did before as executive director. But Very excited about next summer because we think we might be somewhere close to 60 locations and almost 900 kids. So we'll see how it goes, but that's the growth path that we're on. And we have some great stories about how we have changed some kids' lives, and a lot of the kids are getting jobs. We're also very focused on underserved kids. We're probably 65% minority, as well as about 20% women in our camp. So we are trying to give the industry, the construction industry, a little different look than it is currently. And I think so far we've been successful. I kind of thought us as a little drop in the puddle, a little drop in the river, or the lake, I should say. And now all of a sudden, I actually think we're making a little bit of a ripple because we've got enough kids going through it, and we're starting to see kids get in our industry. So it's pretty exciting. And we appreciate the support from our host camps like D. Kramer, but also from our supporters and our partners like Open Space, who like with coming out and actually showing what technology is to kids. It's really important.
That all sounds amazing, Angie. I can see the passion on your face. And I think beyond making ripples at this point, it seems like you guys are really starting to make waves and
Yep.
impact people's lives.
Yeah.
I think that one of the things that I saw right away was truly just how you guys are bringing like a different look to construction, that you're showing what the future looks like, and that really anyone from any background has an opportunity to succeed in construction, which is really refreshing to see. As these camps have progressed, it seems like you guys have really grown quickly.
Mhm.
Is there anything that others can do to support your camps that are involved in any of these organizations?
One of the things I'd love people to do is to take a look at our website, which is HMSE, so Heavy Metal Summer Experience, hmse.org, and check it out, because right now we currently have a 2024 map up there, but by January or so, we should have our 2025 map up there. Take a look at where those camps are. And one would be is if there's not one in your area, consider hosting a camp in your area. But if there are ones in your area, or if you're a supplier or a manufacturer and you're interested in checking them out, feel free to reach out to us. We have a fundraising campaign going on right now. So we want more supporters and manufacturers to be supporters of heavy metal. But we would love you to understand and see how exciting the camps are. I'll tell you, when you attend a camp or you work a camp, it changes. You see the light in the kids' eyes. I had a purchasing lady who, her first year at our Western Ally was our second year at camp. She didn't think she was qualified to volunteer, so she said, "I'm not going to volunteer." The second year, which was our third year, she was there. Our young guy running the camp said, "No, Justine, you need to volunteer. You're going to enjoy this." She called me that night on her way home and said, "Angie, this was the best day of work I've ever had in my life." She said, watching these kids and seeing how excited they were changed. She goes, "It was wonderful." She goes, "I can't wait to volunteer again." And that's why I think when you stop by and see that in the camp, it might make you motivated to actually run a camp, because it really does help your employees as well. And, it's also helping those kids. So it is a great thing to do. And I think for us, our growth has been unexpected. I didn't expect it to go so fast. And we are looking for more host camps, but we also are looking for supporters, partners. And we have some amazing partners besides Open Space, like Milwaukee and DeWalt, who have both helped us with our tools. And we get Red Wing boots for the kids, and Train and Procore have both been very large sponsors. So we have a lot of great sponsors, but we would love to have some more. So.
Well, I know that I can second the experience that you're talking about. When I had an opportunity to go to D. Kramer's camp and really experience it, it really was an amazing opportunity for myself as well. And I think this is a great transition to really introduce who D. Kramer is. They are an amazing organization that has really leaned into technology and innovating the sheet metal industry. And I think that they have a really great opportunity and a great message here to talk about, why they have specifically gotten so involved in heavy metal, and really like what they are doing differently to make themselves stand out in this changing construction industry. Steve, could you maybe tell us about just where D. Kramer started as and how you guys have gotten to this point?
Sure. So D. Kramer is a sheet metal contractor in Michigan. Started in 1937 with a gentleman by the name of D. Kramer as a residential heating and cooling business. We are now in our third generation of ownership, and have some fourth generation Kramers here, and have evolved into 3 manufacturing facilities in Michigan. 2 of them are primarily for our rectangular ductwork. coil lines, lasers, and all the associated equipment. And then one of them is kind of our spiral and oval manufacturing facility. And throughout that entire time, we've continued to try to invest in technology and see how technology can help improve our processes, eliminate some of the waste and some of the things that we do. That's been a concerted effort throughout. At this point in life, I'll say in the last 15 to 20 years, with the advancements of technology and the pace that is happening, it's become more difficult, but at the same time, exciting to try to find those things that are emerging in the industry that can really help what we do. As a whole, if I had to go all the way to the top and give a 3,000-foot view of why we look at technology and how we make the selections that we make and so on and so forth, it's really, at the end of the day, to try to connect disconnected workflows. And open space is a really big part of connecting the office and the field, so on and so forth. There's a lot of aspects of open space and some of the tools that D. Kramer uses in design and estimating in our BIM VDC department and so on and so forth, that really allows that field aspect to be connected, and all of our team members to have access to real conditions on site and what we're dealing with, to be able to make decisions and so on and so forth.
That all sounds great. I know working with you specifically, I've seen how dedicated your team is to pushing the boundaries of technology. And I really think that what you are doing is helping a lot with bringing in new folks to this industry. And really being able for you guys to take this to the next level when it comes to bringing in the Heavy Metal Summer Camp experience. I know we have Kelsey on the line today. And I'd love for Kelsey to tell a little bit about why she was able to, or what your team has been able to do with Heavy Metal Summer Experience, and really what it has provided D. Kramer.
Yeah, so a little bit of history. So D. Kramer is part of a peer group, and the peer group includes Western Allied and Hermanson. So that was how we were introduced to the Heavy Metal Summer Experience. And so the second year that they ran the camp, I was actually on maternity leave. So we decided we weren't doing anything that year. And so our first camp was the summer of 23. And Steve mentioned we have 3 manufacturing facilities. And so the first year we decided we were going to run 2 camps, one in our northern shop, and then one down in Wixom, which is the Metro Detroit area. We had 18 kids that came to those camps, and we actually hired 2 of them. And then this last summer, we decided to take it a little bit bigger, and we ran 3 camps at all 3 of our shops. We had 32 kids, and so far we have been able to bring 2 on board who were interested after the camp. So the Heavy Metal Summer Camps really couldn't have come to us, I guess, at a better time. We got a lot of work going on right now in Michigan. There's a lot happening in our industry, and how Angie mentioned with folks that are retiring, we're really trying to bring in young talent and show them what the sheet metal industry is. A lot of the kids that join the union and take that route in life, they do it because they know someone who's already in that role. You know, their dad or their uncle or their neighbor, someone has introduced them to it. And so HMSE brings a unique perspective, I guess, to the industry, because it allows kids who don't know anything about it to give it a shot and spend their summer learning what the industry is, so that when they are done with high school, they know, yes, this is for me, or maybe no, this isn't for me, which that's okay too, right? And so the HMSE program has been great for D. Kramer, because ultimately it's not about us bringing new people on board. I mean, it's exciting for us that we've got to bring a couple of the kids who have spent time in our shops with our employees on board as current employees. But at the end of the day, it's just getting the word out there. It's allowed us to make a lot of partnerships with local school districts. That's been a huge added bonus for us too. So HMSE has just really brought a unique dynamic to our industry and to us here in Michigan.
That is all really great to hear. As HMSC has been implemented into your company, I know that you have done more than one camp and you've done this now for 2 years. Um, what would you say is the most eye-opening experience that you guys have had when it comes to these students coming in and learning from D. Kramer?
Angie kind of already mentioned it, but it's been a great opportunity for our employees. It's so rewarding to get to work with these kids and for some of our employees to be able to show them, the hands-on side of what we do. There's a perception of I'm going to join the local sheet metal union and I'm going to do this. But there's so much more to it. And so we were able to tie all of those pieces together with our camp and just seeing some of the excitement from the kids, like, oh, this is something that I would love to do. I didn't even know that this was a part of something that I could even be doing, as part of a career. I would say that's probably the most rewarding.
That's very exciting. I believe that is the true reason why Open Space is excited to be involved in this organization, is being able to show what these new potentials are with technology and with the changes of the industry. Uh,
I agree. I do think that I don't think that students, I keep calling them kids. I don't know that students know how much technology is a part of the construction industry. So at the camp where Open Space came and they got to walk around the building and wear the hard hat and take the pictures and add the notes in real time about where they were and what they were doing, and then getting to kind of see all of that at the end of the project day. I felt that on those camp days at each of our camp, each kid walked away like, wow, I had no idea that this could be something that is even a part of what I'm doing. When the perception is I joined the industry and I'm the one that's, doing the physical work. Well, not necessarily. There's an entire virtual world that exists too.
Right. We had a young lady at a graduation I attended. She said, I love the camp, but I really want to do robotics, so I guess I won't be in construction. And I said, wait, there's lots of robotics in construction. I go, there's people that need to drive those robotics and design and lay out everything with the robotics. She goes, really? So I think a lot of it is we as the hosts need to continue to let them know about technology. I mean, John, you probably end up showing the kids a lot on the technology side during the camps.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the camp this year. But yeah, just like you mentioned, the kids nowadays, they're excited about the technology and they're totally comfortable with it. They don't know a life without technology.
Yeah.
It's been part of their life, from the beginning. So,
John, as someone who implements technology as part of your role at D. Kramer, could you tell us a little bit about some of the struggles that you have when it comes to implementing technology traditionally, and maybe like what bringing in the younger crowd and this younger talent does to help with that?
yeah, I think the biggest challenge with technology is always adoption. One of the things that with open space, as easy as it is to use, we want to look at, our field team, is the field team going to want to use this? Do they see value in it? It always comes down to adoption, really. And that's what open space brings to D. Kramer, is really the simplicity of using it.
And would you say bringing on students and bringing on new people that are coming into this industry, this new generation, do you think that it makes it easier to implement technologies?
Yes, I do, because again, these kids, they don't know a life without technology, so they're very comfortable with it.
That's all great to hear. Well, I know that my personal experience at Heavy Metal, when I came to D. Kramer's office, I was very excited to be there and to be able to present to the next generation. And I thought that I instantly noticed like the smile on the kids' faces when they started to see technology. We had an opportunity to run several stations of different types of technology and different types of new innovations in the construction industry. And being able to show people, like everyone has said here, that they would be able to take 360 cameras and create this Google Street View of their construction site. It was a really eye-opening experience to see that this next generation coming into the industry was unfamiliar with any of this technology being a part of construction, but they were so familiar with the devices and utilizing apps and different things traditionally that it seemed like it was just such an easy fit for them to pick up and start using. I think that there truly is an opportunity for more of this type of work. And I really do applaud Angie and all of Heavy Metal Summer Camp for being able to get so many students like acclimated to this new technology.
Yeah, we definitely have a shortage, and I think teaching, letting them know. So many of them do not know that there's such an amazing career they can have in the construction industry, and how the benefits are great, and that there's tons of work right now. And typically, construction always is got work. I mean, there are up and down times, but most of the time we keep busy enough. And so, if you work hard and you want to do it, the other thing that's really cool is that many of the kids, I tell them during the graduation that, you know, you can be in the field, you can be in the office and do technology, but you also can own the company eventually in the end. Many of our owners came through the trades, and then they worked their way up to being owners. So you know, it doesn't mean you have to go to college to do that. And I think a lot of kids are starting to see that. Since the pandemic, I think a lot of kids are not considering college as much as an option. So it tells me that we should be able to get more people into the trades and actually share that. So we are excited about it, and having hosts like Dee Kramer, who willing the first year to throw 2 camps and then 3 camps, that's amazing. So
Absolutely. Steve, what would you say the biggest challenges are that are facing the construction industry today? And how do you think that technology is actually helping address some of those challenges?
Well, probably the first and foremost challenge that comes to mind is the pace of life, and these construction projects and schedules are getting more and more and more condensed. And you know, there's always one date that never changes on a construction schedule, right? That's the end date. And you know, being able to utilize this technology and you know, connect your workflows, being able to have all of your team members be on the same page, to, you know, manage that is the best case scenario. That's probably the biggest thing that comes to mind for me, is just the pace. Don't have a lot of time.
mhm.
Don't have a lot of time, and technology gives you an opportunity to manage some of this and hopefully
Absolutely.
keep everything together to give yourself some time back.
Yep.
That's all great. Angie, what are the largest challenges that you see in the construction industry today? And how do you see things like technology helping to improve that?
Well, over the next 5 years, we've talked about this. They say about 40% of the industry is going to retire. That's about about a 1 in 5. We're replacing them supposedly back into the industry with about 1 in 5. So we got about 4 going out and 1 coming in. Not great numbers. So I think we need technology to make us more efficient, and to help us be more efficient, and to deal with the pace of the construction that we have. If previously we didn't have that technology and it took 5 people to do that job, and now we can do that with technology and use 3 people, we're at least gonna helping make up some of the shortage we have now. The other thing is, again, the industry, but the world has changed, and being that the next generation is born with a phone in their hand, it's where we have to go. And it's really exciting, though, when, you know, Steve talked a little bit back about 15 years ago. Well, right now, you can't hardly look 5 years back and not see how much technology has changed. I think in a year or 2, we'll see even huger jumps. I mean, I think it's very exciting to see where we're going in the industry. Construction has typically been a slow to adopt industry. And I think we're finally on the roll of, I think it's time for us really to step in and jump into that pool with the technology. And that probably has something to do with some of us baby boomers that are retiring, that were running companies, and letting the next generation who is more comfortable with technology start to run the companies. So I think it's happening, and it's happening faster than we all expected. I mean, literally, my first job, 3 months into it, we got a fax machine. So that was exciting for us. But so you can see how technology has changed over the years. So I'm showing my age, obviously, but no. And I think heavy metal is just a little step. That's a big part of it. We have to teach those kids that are in the camps. They get hands-on, they learn to solder, they learn to weld, they make projects, you know, they make a grill, they make a fire pit, but we also teach them about technology, and let them know that there is just many, many avenues within the construction industry that they can go. And then ultimately, in the end, if they want to own the company, they could work their way to that too. So but again, to do that, we need the technology that we've got coming in, and it really is exciting. I struggle to keep up with it myself a little bit. It's amazing how fast it's evolving.
We believe so as well. That is very true.
Yeah.
John, I would love to know what advice that you would give students who are considering a career in construction, who maybe previously had not as much knowledge or had less experience with construction, and really what you would give advice to those students who are looking at it now.
Yeah, I think the best advice I could give is just like Steve and Angie said, is keeping up with the technology. You know, it evolves so quick. And nowadays, with all the technology leveraging AI, I think that's going to be a big part of the future of technology.
Very great advice. Kelsey, as someone on the human resources and on maybe the other side of the business, what advice would you give to students that are considering a career in construction?
That everyone should keep their options open. I do think that high schools are getting better about showing all of the opportunities that are available, not just for your institution. So keeping an open mind and exploring the different avenues that they might be interested in. Coming to one of our summer camps, it's free and it allows students a couple weeks time to wrap their arms around not only the sheet metal world, but really construction in its entirety, including technology and just the different options that are available there. So I guess my biggest advice would be explore and be open-minded.
Angie, as a last question here, as we're looking to wrap up this conversation, we'd love to know if there's anything that you would like to share as a last piece of advice or a last piece of information here today.
Well, one of the things that Dee Kramer took to heart when I kind of started challenging contractors to step up and do something about this challenge that we have, they took it to heart. But again, I do look at that and say, I love the construction industry, and I think all of us do. Those of us that are in the construction industry, I mean, particularly when you get somebody who just joined the construction industry, they don't realize what a great industry it is. And there's a lot of great people, but more than that, it's just really exciting to be able to build something and say, I belong to that. I did this. This is part of what we did. So I love it. And so that's when I said, well, we have a real problem. Let's get more people in this industry and let's share this industry. So I do have, my younger son is working in the industry. He did go to college as industrial technology, but he's actually working as a production manager in our shop at Western Allied. And I'm glad to share that industry with him. And he actually runs our camp for us at Western Allied. And he really gets a lot out of it. He enjoys working with the kids. But so my whole pitch is, let's do something about it. And if any of you are interested in the future of the next generation, that we say the future of our industry is in the hands of the next generation. And we really need our industry to look a little different than it is now. We need it to be much more diverse. We need women. It's an amazing industry for women as a tradesperson, because you are making 99.1% of what men make when you're working as a tradesperson as a woman. And that is the only industry that you can say that. Most of the time women are making considerably less than that compared to men. So I mean, again, it's one of those very equal across the board industries. You're going to get paid the same as everybody else working in the trades if you work hard and you do your job. And there's so many opportunities. And right now in the industry, we are short somewhere close to 450,000 jobs right now. We need 450,000 people in the construction industry now, and 40% are retiring. So again, it's an opportunity for a career. It's not an opportunity for a job. I mean, it'll be something that once you get started in the construction industry, you continue because you really do enjoy it. And I do think that we are finally, as a construction industry, revolving and using technology enough to make it much more exciting for everybody. So my challenge out there is just, for heavy metal side, if you're interested in considering a camp, reach out to me on my website. With my email's on there. And if you're interested in being a partner with us, let us know that as well. It's really is a great experience. And if you're a SMACTA contractor and going to the convention, I'll have a booth there as well. So you can come over and say hi at the booth and check it out.
So one thing I just want to add on to, for the people who might be considering hosting a heavy metal summer experience, one of the challenges we had the first year that we did it what Angie and Rick did at Western Allied and Hermanson and putting together, that first year, those, the playbook and those programs were full mechanical. It was sheet metal, it was plumbing, and it was piping, and we're just a sheet metal contractor. And it was one of the first, it was one of the first questions is how do we formulate a heavy metal summer experience? And we've had conversations, with relationships that we have that do that work. And I hope in the future and future camps that we do that we'll partner with some of those people in Michigan and get more exposure, for the students. But I just want to let you know, a heavy metal summer experience is not an absolute defined program. It will work in any type, whether it's sheet metal only or plumbing only or electrical or whatever the case may be. You just got to figure out how and go for it. The second part of that is in solving that mystery, I think technology was probably one of the biggest things that helped us do that. When we were focusing on our facilities, our sheet metal manufacturing facilities, and how are we going to develop classes and experience for these students. The technology piece and involving, we have a pretty nice BIM, building information modeling, portion of the classes that we did. The open space that we did this past summer, that helped, solve some of those hurdles. So don't be shy about throwing your hat in the ring and doing this, because this can be molded and shaped into a great experience for these kids to just open their eyes to what's possible out there.
Yep, that's well said.
That's very well said. Well, everyone, we appreciate everyone's time for taking the time to watch this webinar today. And if you're interested in learning more about the Heavy Metal Summer Experience, on the screen, you should see everyone's contact info for how to reach out and learn more. We'd also be happy to talk to anyone about how construction technology is changing the industry and really how open space fits into that puzzle. Anyone who's interested in either of those two programs, please reach out to us and we'd love to continue this conversation.